Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about melodies and the easiest way to create melodies. And I'm going to be showing you a technique that I like to use. None of this is a set stone, and just to let you know, most of this is all trial and error when you're actually doing it yourself, and it's trial and error when I do it myself. But this is a technique that I like to use, and hopefully you'll find this helpful. We're going to cover some of these chords. We're going to cover some simple melodies, some complex melodies. We're going to cover some dynamics, and we're also going to cover some effects. We're going to start first with these chords, and right now I'm in the key of F minor, and I already have some chords laid down, and I'll show you these chords right here. F minor 7, C minor 7, B flat minor 7. We'll go back to our F minor 7 here. Now this is a G minor 7, and then this is back to a C minor 7. What we're going to be doing in this is going to be real simple. The first thing I want to talk about is passing notes. Now, the way that I do passing notes is I'll kind of pick from notes that each chord next to each other shares. So for example, if you look right here into this one, we have F, A flat, C, E flat. And in this one, we have C, E flat, G, B flat. These two share the E flat and the C. You can see these are the same notes. So what I want to do is I want to use one of these chords or one of these notes to be my passing chord or my passing note, for my next chord. And really it's just trial and error. You got to see which one you like best. And I'm going to go up an octave with it. So I'm going to hit Control, highlight it. I'm going to press Shift, click on it, and then I'm going to hit Control and up. And now this is an octave higher. We'll kind of move it back, and let's just hear what it sounds like. And that sounds like it goes into that next note really, or that next chord really smoothly. The next one is the C. Let's go ahead and bring this down a few to C. We'll bring it down a few to C. And now we'll play it again, and we'll just decide which one we think sounds best. And honestly, I feel like that C sounds better than the E flat, but let's just hear it again. It gives a more sadder vibe. If you're going for more sad or more emotional pain type vibe, I would say this is the note to go with. And what you'll see that I did was I used a note that, like I said, already in the chord, and both chords next to each other share that note. And basically, I just moved that note back a few, right? You can put it wherever you like. So I could even put it here. And then we can do the next note, right? But I'm going to move this one back to where I had it, and we'll look at our next chord. Our next chord is C, E flat, G, B flat, and the chord after it is B flat, D flat, F, and A flat. So these two chords share the B flat. So we bring this down, you'll see that it is the same exact note. So we'll try and use the B flat next and see what happens. So just Control, click on it, Shift, click on it, and then move it up an octave, Control F, and we'll move it back. And these are just good passing notes. Now, what we can also do is look at some of the notes that are in the next chord. Like the B flat sounds good going into that next note or to that next chord, but we could probably do even better, or we can get one that sounds even better. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the notes that are in this chord here. And the reason we do that is because these notes resolve into the next chord pretty easily, and they sound really good. We see that it's got a B flat, a D flat, an F, and an A flat. So let's try going down first. So we'll try with the A first, the A flat first. Now that A flat, it doesn't sound bad, but I would think hearing that A flat that the next chord is going to be up. But since the next chord isn't up, I think I want to go with a different note. So let's try it with the F. And I believe the F is going to be what we want, or what I want. And And that sounds really, really good to me. But for educational purposes, we'll just try the next note, which is a D flat. So we'll bring this down to the D flat and see what it sounds like. And it's not the best sounding. Now, you can use it if you like, but I think that the F sounds best with it, so we'll use the F. And it's already giving us this sad, sad vibe to it, right? Once again, we want to use notes that are shared between the chords. So you see the F is shared here, the A flat is shared here, but what we also want to pay attention to is what the chord is doing. This chord is going back up to the 1, right? We got the B or the B flat going up to the F. So we want our next note, since it's a sad, emotional type vibe, we want it to go up as well. So instead of using the F here, because the F is the next note, let's try and use that A flat. Maybe even move it here so it's on the same kind of length of those. And that sounded really good. And then the next one, we have F, A flat, C, E flat, and this one has G, B flat, D flat, and F. F is the note that is shared. So we bring that down, we see F is shared with both of those notes. So let's try and throw an F in there, but we're gonna do it an octave higher. And now let's just move it over. And let's see what that sounds like. Oh, I just realized I didn't put that. The next chord is this C minor, this C minor 7. And if you look here, C and E flat are both shared between this F minor 7 and this C minor 7. So we got the C and the E flat right here. If we bring those down an octave, you see that these are the exact same notes. And since that's the case, we want to use the E flat, because the E flat, if you look at it on the actual scale, it's below the F, so it should sound good going right back into that F. So let's take that, we'll just shift and click on it, and now we can move it, and let's take it up an octave, and we'll put it about here, and let's see what that sounds like. The C minor 7 is going to be going back into this F minor 7. We want to use a note that's going to be going up as well, so a little higher. So instead of using a note that they both share, we're going to use a note that is already in this F minor 7th. And I think the best note to go for with that one is going to be that A flat that we have here. So we'll take this A flat here, and then we'll just place one here, and then kind of move it back. And that's just a basic, simple melody breakdown, and you're not doing very much there, but we can actually take this and build from it. Now, something that I want to kind of try is I want to kind of move this note up a few, and I'm going to use some notes that are already in this C minor 7th, right? So we're using the E flat now, but let's try and take it up to the B flat, because we're going up again here to A. So let's take it up to B flat and see what that sounds like. Or no, let's do the G. Let's do the G. And it's giving us that kind of sad melody, but we're also following what the chords are kind of doing. So we're going down here. This one is going down, down, and down, and then this is going up, up. But this is going back down. But if you were to put this in the scale where it goes, it's actually going up. But it's just transposed down. So from here is we can get creative. You don't have to do the same thing over and over again. As you can see, some of these notes are cut off, so I want to kind of bring them closer. Now we have this. So these are our added on passing notes, right? Passing notes. And now what we can do is we can add more notes to it, or even move around some of these notes. So whereas this starts pretty late in the sequence, I can bring it up. Bring this one up as well. That's why that was going so loud. It was two of them there. And that's a totally different rhythm there. Now, to get more complex with it, we'll start adding more notes, right? But we'll start adding more notes that are already in these notes here, right? So the F minor 7 has the F, the A flat, the C, and the E flat. Let's try and add another note in. Let's say, since we're going down, let's keep going down with it and see what we get. And this one doesn't really sound how I want it to sound. I kind of want it to go back up. So, and like I said in the beginning, this is a lot of trial and error as well. So we're just kind of seeing what works. I'm going to go back up with this one. We can even try something even different. Let's go to the B flat. The next note, we can use some notes from this chord, or we can use some notes from this chord. So we're just using notes that are already in the scale, but we're using notes that we already have working with already, right? So let's take this B flat, and since we're going up, let's put it here, and let's just see what it sounds like. That sounded so sweet. Sounded so sweet. So let's keep it going. We'll keep going up here. We're looking at our notes that we're already using here, that are already in the chord. F. We're going to be going straight to G next. What you want to think about with this is fourth and fifth. So C and G are fifth away, and C and F are fourth away. So we could actually take that C, since we're using the C here, we could take a C and drop it one here. Let's see what that sounds like. And even higher here. I hear it going down here, so I'm going to do that, see what that sounds like. Now what we could do is just kind of expand on this, right? We can go as far as to even cut some chords or cut some of the notes that are already in the chord. For example, we can cut this. Normally it's about the fifth, so we'll cut that fifth. So here, C, and we'll just kind of see what it sounds like going into it. Let's see what else we could do here. Let's uncut this note here, put it back, and let's actually take this note out. Let's kind of play with some notes here at the very top here. And remember, we're using notes that are already here. So let's try and figure out what notes. And I'm thinking something like a scale run. We'll go down. We are in F sharp or F minor. So let's think of something. I'll think of something to go down. We'll start on the C. Let's go something like this. This. We'll go more so. Just something that you could do, more things that you could add to it. Let's try and just add some notes here at the top that are in F minor. What we'll do is we'll actually take this A flat and we'll duplicate it by hitting Shift, going up and up again, and kind of move it around. Another thing that we're going to kind of focus on is the dynamics. Dynamics play a huge role in making your melodies because right now everything is hitting at the exact same volume. Now you can hit Alt R and randomize the velocities of everything. And that sounds okay, but personally, I like to do it manually, and you can easily do it just by clicking Alt, hovering over the one you want to change the volume of. Let me make this a little bigger so you can see. Because down here, the volume does change, but you see this little dark area here? Whenever you change the volume, that goes up or down. So, letting you know how loud it is, but you can also see it down here at the bottom in your control there. But I'm going to do something manually to make it sound like somebody's actually playing it. All right, so I've got the volumes adjusted, and I've also added in another chord here. This is a dominant 7th chord, so some of the notes in it are outside of the scale. So if we go here, you'll see the G flat and the A flat, or the G flat and the A are outside of the scale, but it works, so we'll keep it. Let's take these notes and make some bass notes with them. So Shift, we'll kind of bring those down. So bring everything together so you can see it all at once. And this is what it sounds like. Boom. Easy, simple, didn't take too much, and that's the dynamic portion of everything. When you have someone actually playing, they don't always hit everything at the same volume or time. So let's go ahead and strum some of these as well to give it that live sounding or that real feel. Now you can Alt S to strum, which is cool. Let's undo that. Alt S again, and I'm gonna actually bring these velocities back here so we don't have to worry about those because we already adjusted our velocities. Go here on the end, and let's go ahead and take some of these. So it loops back around. It sounds like somebody's actually playing. So when you hit a note, it actually sounds like that. If you look right here when I play this chord, if you look right here, you'll see when I play it, everything doesn't hit all at the exact same time. And that's how it sounds when someone really plays it. Now, if I strum it that same way, it'll sound a little bit like this. Or So that's completely up to you. And the last thing I want to talk about is effects. And all I'm really gonna do to this one is add some reverb, because reverb is gonna give it gonna make it kind of sound like it's in a real space. So we'll do 3D reverb. I add that on my mixer track. I'm gonna send the piano to that same mixer track. And what I like to do is I like to turn the dry knob all the way down. So we'll alt scroll down, turn the early reflections up a little bit, and turn the wet knob up. And I'm gonna set this at about 3 seconds. You know, here, give or take, cut some of those highs out, just a little bit of the lows, and we're gonna make it a little bit bigger, so we're in a bigger space, and this is gonna make it seem like it's in a auditorium basically, and or not an auditorium, an arena of some sort, and we'll bring the diffusion down, and now this is gonna make it sound like it's in an auditorium of some sort. And now let's hear, I'll blend it in, so I'll take this knob here and I'll blend it in to give us that sound. Bring this one down some, that note down a little bit, and we'll bring this note down some. And since we are going out of the key here, something else we could do is we could go and do the fifth, which is the C here. We could bring that C back over, because it'd be like a 2-5-1, but we're not using the 2. We're just going with the 6. Well, this is the 6, but it's outside of the scale. We could do the 6-5-1. C is the 5. Let's bring it over, and let's just see what that sounds like. And it actually goes right back into it very smooth. Like, I like that. We can keep that. And that's an easy, simple melody, and you can get more complex with it as you like. I say practice more. The more you practice, the better you get at it, the faster you become with it.